Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Vechain as they are focusing on supply chain solutions for enterprises. And so they have recently announced some partnerships, and then they have also mentioned that they're going to be upgrading the mainnet at the end of the month. And so I think this is very exciting for Vechain as they have a lot of potential and a real use case. And so before we get started on that, I would like to take a look at and explain kind of how cryptocurrencies work with Bitcoin. And so there's a lot of attention on Bitcoin right now with the Bitcoin ETF being approved and going to be going live this week. And so a lot of that money is going to start flowing into Bitcoin and potentially pushing Bitcoin to say $100,000. And so $100,000 is a psychological number. And so we may see a big sell-off at that point, and then that may be the top for Bitcoin. And so this is very similar to back in 2017 when Bitcoin hit $20,000. We started to see a lot of that money flow back down through these, as you can see here, from Bitcoin to the large caps. And so we saw money start flowing into Ethereum. And then we started seeing that money start flowing back through like Stellar, ADA, and Vechain. And so we started seeing that go through some of the larger altcoins, and then that flow started flowing through the smaller ones as well. And so we're going to see that same thing happen here, especially if we see a big push with Bitcoin. And so it's very important to find those altcoins ahead of time, the ones that you think that have a lot of potential, because it happens very quickly. A lot of that money starts flowing from Bitcoin into altcoins, and then these altcoins start exploding from, let's say, maybe 200% all the way up to 1,000% just in a few weeks. And so this is something that I'm looking at as I'm looking at Vechain and these other cryptocurrencies that have solid use cases. So this is definitely one of them. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. It lets me know that you're enjoying this content. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. So please do your own research. And so let's take a look at Vechain here on KuCoin. So if you're interested in buying Vechain, you can buy this on a couple of different platforms. The platform that I use is KuCoin, so there is a link down below under Linktree if you're interested in signing up. And so as we can see here, this is forming a huge symmetrical triangle over the last few months, and we are starting to consolidate a little bit tighter. And so we are starting to get towards the tip of the triangle here. I think this is going to break to the upside. And so as we can see here, there is this blue line, which is the 200-day moving average. And so if we do zoom in on that, we can see that we have been bouncing off that for the last couple of days. And so we can see we keep breaking above it. However, we do not end up closing above that. And so we can see we have done that multiple times. Even yesterday when the news was released for DHL, we did end up breaking above that. However, we did fall back below the 200-day moving average. And so we are back below that currently. However, I am hoping to see a break above the upside since they have been releasing a lot of very good news. And as Bitcoin starts to move, I expect this to break to the upside, and then we'll see a big move from Vechain. So this is currently trading at just under 12 cents currently. However, I think this could do very well going forward. And so let's take a look at some news they have released. And so they are stating here that the POA 2.0 mainnet has ended with an overwhelming majority of 737 voting of agree. And so the mainnet will be upgraded by the end of the month here. And so this is very exciting news as they continue to improve their proof of authority network. And so we can see here that some more information on the proof of authority 2.0 phase 1. And so what Vechain is trying to do here is deliver a secure, stable, and scalable public blockchain and enable mass adoption of blockchain technology across the globe. And so Vechain Thor's blockchain called Surface Proof of Authority 2.0, standing for Secure Use Case Adaptive Relatively Fork-Free Approach of Chain Extension. So to ensure the future needs of businesses are met, a blockchain must be able to guarantee no data loss while also providing high throughput and high scalability. And so that is what Proof of Authority 2.0 Phase 1 is trying to accomplish. And so in the first phase, we want to implement the first part of VIP 193 called a VRF-based solution of randomness. And so this function balances the unpredictability and the unbiasedness of the block proposing schedule, ensuring the highest level of data security. And so after implementation, it will be impossible to predict and thus manipulate block proposers way ahead of time, increasing the security of the Vechain Thor blockchain. And so this is definitely something that's very important here as they are working on implementing this. And so we can see that the VIP 193 testnet was launched in step 1, and so they were testing the VRF-based source of randomness that will be launching on the mainnet here by the end of the month. And they're also testing a committee-based block producing process, which will be launched on the mainnet here next in step 3. And so after this is launched, I do not think it's going to be long after that they have went ahead and upgraded the mainnet on the phase 2. And so then after that, they will be working on a passive block finality confirmation process. And then once that has been confirmed, they will be all going ahead and launching that on the mainnet as well. And that will be completing the Proof of Authority 2.0 update. And so I definitely think this is going to be a very positive news for Vechain going forward as they continue to make these updates, as they are working with many large enterprises and corporations. And so I'd also like to take a look at this news here that they have announced. And so they have announced that DHL, one of the largest shipping and logistics company in the entire world, has chosen the Vechain Thor blockchain for their NFT collection. And so I know there was rumors about this in the past, and there's many people that are disappointed in this news. However, I think this is very positive. This is like putting the foot in the door to one of the largest shipping companies in the world. And so if they find good success with this NFT collection that they are working on with DHL, they may use them for future needs. And so as we can see here, this is just the beginning of the robust ENFT ecosystem, and we are looking forward to the future collaborations with the DHL team. And so like I said, this is very positive going forward as they are working and getting their foot in the door with these huge corporations. And so we can see here there's some information on the Enft Development. And so ever since 2015, Vechain has set and been pursuing its goal of enabling enterprises to mass adopt blockchain technologies to create real values. And so they have been tirelessly working with hundreds of enterprises, no matter whether it's an SME or a Fortune 500 company, from which we have built a strong reputation among enterprises through numerous successful end cases, and more importantly, developed infrastructures that support scale up of the process for enterprises to build decentralized applications. And so we can see here the Proof of Authority consensus has been proven to be one of the most practical solutions for building an enterprise-grade public blockchain. And so as we have mentioned, the Proof of Authority 2.0 is going to give them much better security. And so this introduces the block committee mechanism that not only improves network security, but further lifts the theoretical upper bound of maximum throughput of Vechain Thor. And so Vechain is a unique and well-designed dual token economic model and is built for the protocol to safeguard the long-term sustainability of Vechain Thor and its ecosystem. And so the model identifies and tackles the bottleneck of a single token blockchain system, where a single digital token would never be able to serve both as the medium of values and the storage of values. And so this leads to transactions being fast, cheap, and secure on Vechain Thor. Most major public blockchains that choose to use a single token system would eventually impede themselves on the way up to mass adoption, while Vechain Thor steadily marches towards the goal of mass adoption. So they're really setting themselves up for the bigger picture here. They're making sure that they're going to be successful when this does really start to take off. And so I think this is very good. They are working on some very large partnerships as well. And so I think this is one of the altcoins that is going to do very well in the future, whether that's 3 years from now or 5 years or 8 years from now. I think this is going to be one of the cryptocurrencies that is definitely here for the long term, and we are going to be hearing about, say, 10 years down the road. And so this is one altcoin that I'm going to be holding for a very long time. I really like their outlook of where they are heading, and I think there's definitely a use case for this with supply chain, especially with what we are experiencing in the world today. And so one other thing I'd like to take a look at here as well with Vechain is that their platform has been adopted by socially responsible premium yak wool brand Vechain, partner of H&M and Coast. And so due to the massive disruption in international logistics networks have faced in recent times, the global fashion industry has been left with no choice but to radically rethink the long-term established systems and hierarchies. And so Shanghai Fashion Week echoed the sentiment, recognizing the need for interconnected thinking as a tool for national and global recovery. And so during the event, the creative partnership between Vechain and Vechain was given a spotlight by Vogue China. And so this is recognizing the use of Vechain's technology as a potent tool to drive meaningful change and resolve many systematic woes. And so with sustainability now as a core focus in the fashion industry, Vechain chose Vechain's blockchain-enabled sustainability solution to create visibility of its sustainability-oriented actions throughout every aspect of its supply chain and business operations. So I definitely think this goes to demonstrate that there's many use cases for Vechain, whether it's in the fashion industry, in the food industry, in the medical industry. This can be used all over the place, and so I think there's definitely a huge use case for Vechain as they continue to develop and push out Proof of Authority 2.0. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to see future cryptocurrency videos, please hit the subscribe button. Also, let me know in the comments below what you think of Vechain and where you think this is heading. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.